All right, so we're gonna do the training now for the Pyromart point of sale system, right? And each Pyromart point of sale system will come in a box like this, right? Each box will include a screen protector. This will make the screen on the Android device a little more matte design, right? So it's up to you if you want to use it. I do recommend it though. It stops scratches from happening on the screen, right? Each unit will then come through like this. It already has one roll of receipt paper in it already. The receipt paper you open up by grabbing onto the gray handle here and pulling on it, and the receipt paper is in. Great. The first thing, actually I want to keep going with what we have in the box. Then you got a brick and a USB-C charger. So we'll put this back in again. When you get one of these, right, you're going to want to open up the back by unplugging here, unlocking the device, the back of the device, pressing down on it, taking out the battery, and removing the yellow tape that's here. If you don't know why it's not turning on, this is why. Also, good for everyone to know is this system will also allow you to put in a micro SD card as well as a SIM card for data. If you don't have Wi-Fi, you can put in data on this.
So the SIM card is for access?
The SIM card is, you can like say the stand or the location doesn't have Wi-Fi, right? And you got a T-Mobile. You can get a T-Mobile SIM card, plug it in, and then boom, you've got data.
We may do that straight up just so we don't have the constant, my network's not working.
Yeah.
So I believe T-Mobile, etc., do have like $10 a month unlimited, like just SIM card, just data plans.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think I can turn them on and off too. If I go order
Exactly.
like 22 SIM cards, I can say turn them all on, turn them all off.
Exactly. Yeah, and then that way you don't have to worry about like people hotspotting and then like people walking away from the stand and hotspot goes off, so on and
It
so
also
forth.
allows me to track where they're at.
That is also very true. The installation is reverse. Just plug it back in again. Make sure that the battery power stuff is on the very top. It only fits in one way, so slide it back in again and lock it so that the battery won't fall out. It is very hard to take out anyways without locking it, but either way you just want to lock it and just plug everything back in again. You got a handheld.
Is that your own device design or is that someone else's?
Someone else's. So that is the unit itself. So from here, when you turn everything on, right, you're gonna be shown with this random screen here. All right. The first thing we want to do is go into the scan button, right? Just in case. We're gonna get some reports of random people saying, "Hey, my stuff's not scanning." Here's why. Go into the scan here. Then you're gonna go into settings, and you're going to make sure that the output mode is in keyboard, right? What we've done with all of your items currently already is that your stuff's already done in keyboard mode, but we just want to make sure if there is a question, you just got to check that first. So you just tap on the output mode, and you've got several different ones. When it comes out of the factory, it goes into broadcast mode. We're going to switch it to keyboard mode, like that. Just tap on it, you're done. The next thing that you're going to want to do is connect to your Wi-Fi, or if you have a SIM card, go to data, right? Go to your settings, connect to Wi-Fi, right? And then you're good to go there. Once you're connected to Wi-Fi, every single one of these devices already has the Pyromart point of sale system installed. It looks like this on the bottom, right? This logo may shift depending on time, but that is a Pyromart point of sale
What's the
system.
difference between the three that I see there?
There are different versions of it on my system, right? But on everybody else's system, there's only going to be one. Because this is an Android device, you will also have access to Google Play. I highly recommend that every single company create their own Google account. This means that one person in the back office can control all the devices at one point in time, right? And download applications as they see fit, right? As well as make updates to the point of sale system when the time comes. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and tap on the Pyromart point of sale system. The first thing that we're gonna see, I'm gonna log out of this right now, is point of sale login. If somebody does not have point of sale login, it is taking care of the back end. That'll be another training, but for now we're gonna focus on the point of sale, right? You're gonna type in, and we're gonna use Tom's account for the purpose of this demo, right? And just gonna type in the name, the email, like big grin. I will blur this, by the way. And then type in the password. Press OK, then press login. They'll ask you what location that they want to log into. If they have access to multiple locations, this is important because you don't want to be doing improper inventory on the different locations. Great. Press submit, it'll log you in. It's going to download the category and products. You need internet for this. I feel like it goes without saying, but you just want to make sure that people understand that. Right? And then we're going to go through each single tab one by one. So on the first page here, what you're going to see is you're going to have search by product name, your current order, discounts applied, totals, and discount percentages and or the value of them, right? You can also apply back-end discounts automatically inside the system. But if you want to do your own discounts, that is where you're going to apply them, right? So we're going to first type in the name of a product. We put in G, it will just start to populate. And it'll just start to identify which ones you want. Obviously, you can then also scan product. The scan button is not the top one. This one turns off the screen. It is the bottom two. They're in red. They're hopefully very obvious. Also, you've also got volume buttons up top and bottom. But you can scan. It'll turn on the light. If you don't want the light to turn on, go back into your scan application and adjust as necessary. You can also adjust it whether or not you want to have like sound with it or just vibrate, so on and so forth. Right? Go in. We'll just scan an item.
Do you have to push both of them or just either one?
Just either one will work. Get rid of the keyboard. This is actually good to know. So once the keyboard is up, right, it's pretending that this is a keyboard, which is why sometimes the keyboard will pop up. I tapped on the product name and that's why the keyboard came up. So gotta get rid of it. Gotta get rid of the keyboard. Then that will pop up as the product. The scan speed is fast. And the reason we have a fast scan speed is because we don't use a camera for this. We actually have a barcode scanner inside the system itself. So every single time you tap, it will scan. Cool.
Can you touch into that spot and change it? Like it says 15 now. Can you physically go in and just touch it, put in 33 or 8 or 1?
No. You gotta tap on it.
Okay.
That's the first thing we're gonna do. All right. So we'll go through a sample order soon. Actually, we'll go with sample order right now. So we'll just go through a flashbang. We've got the products, how many there are, the prices being charged for them, right? Your discounts applied as well as tax applied, right? You can press now checkout. This is what, you can actually show this to the customer. We actually did this a couple of times during the wallet, right? Press confirm, they can pay with card, cash, or split payment. For a lot of companies, they will be using their own processor. So the card itself, like the card processing portion of it will be off of this application, right? So you'll see the amount to charge. You'll charge it on the credit card. And then once the credit card says okay, then you'll press confirm. These details are not required. This is there to help you with credit card processing rejections, all right? So you've got the name, email, phone number, and address. Address, generally I would recommend is putting in the zip code. You can leave any of this blank too. You don't have to fill them. It's not all or nothing. It's you fill in any one of these. The name of the customer. If they want an email receipt, they plug in the email. If they want a text receipt, they plug in the phone number. Or they plug in all of them. They'll get everything at once. Okay? We're going to ignore them all.
Does that auto-populate from the scan of the card as well? Or?
No. And you press confirm, and then this will pop up to print invoice.
Can you back up again, please?
Sorry?
Can you back up?
Yep.
You have a add miscellaneous charge, what is that for?
We'll add that afterwards.
Okay.
So press continue, and then that would be the order itself. To go on with what you said, type of product, and then you can also add a charge. It just says collect more money, right? So if something doesn't scan and you're in a rush, you can just type in, we'll add $5 to this order. And we'll just add $5. On the back end, it will show miscellaneous charge on it. All right, we'll do that again
Add a
too.
negative there too? Does negative not work with miscellaneous charge?
A negative does not work with miscellaneous charge. That would be an absolute discount, so value discount.
Not affirming, not.
Yep.
Okay.
Got you. Press checkout again, and this time we'll do confirm. We'll do a cash discount. With cash, and then you press exact. The exact component for this, right, is for speed, right? So that you can just quickly collect cash and go. Now you can press any discounts, the order total, collected cash. So in that case, if someone gives you a 10, you can then.
Welcome to Big Red.
I'll pause it. I'll just pause it for a second.
Pretty good. How much y'all hunting for?
We're just trying to get a better understanding. We saw you guys. Oh, you already know what's going on.
So we have a lot of options for Gingerville. And we won't be selling TikTok. We did it professionally. I got one of my.
So what were you saying about an add-on? I had to answer that.
Oh, so for the miscellaneous charges, what you see there is just if you want to add a charge on top. So say if like something didn't scan, or if you needed to collect really cash for any other purpose, that's what you'd plug in. You've added a miscellaneous charge on it.
Does it compound now? To where like if I have.
No, you can't. Like if you add a miscellaneous charge, you add a total amount of miscellaneous charges at one time. So if someone says, I need to add a $10 charge or a $20 charge, you'd add $30. You wouldn't go 10 and then add another 20 on there, right? It doesn't compound that way.
Right.
Same thing with those straight one-time discounts. You either add a % discount or a value discount. You don't do both.
Okay.
All right. However, if you have discounts on the back end that are operating, right, on the promotions and coupon section of the back end, it will then compound, right? But that's really meant for the final component. Go, hey, I need to add a $20 discount. Like, okay, I just add that in there. All right. Go on. Split pay.
Split payments. Like if someone wants to pay some cash and
So
somebody
confirm.
else wants to pay with
Split
a card.
split payment.
Okay, there
Yep.
you
You
go.
just add the split payment and you split how much cash are you doing, how much card. The beauty behind this is, so it's like a $8 charge, right? So you say someone gives me a $5 bill, it will auto-populate the card for you to know how much you're supposed to collect on the card. Can we do multiple cards? No. It's card or cash. You see what I mean? So if they're doing like multiple people paying cash, just collect the cash, right? And then public people paying card, you can do it on your card machine, but for this, it will just say, how much did you do on card, right? So let's go back again. We'll just pay with cash time around, and we'll exact it out again. And then I did want to show you $10. You have a $1.50 change. That will tell you the change here. You're supposed to tender. Cool. All right. We'll now press confirm. Again, you don't have to fill any of this out. Press confirm again. You've got the receipt here. The top header and the bottom will be filled out on the back end of the system. So on the back end, there's a thing called point of sale settings. You'll be able to put in there whatever you want to put in the header, or you can put in whatever you want to put in not the header, the footer. Yep. Afterwards, you press print on the upper right hand corner, and that will activate the printer in this and print out the receipt that you can offer to the client. The receipt will include everything that you see on that page just now, such as subtotal, miscellaneous charge, the tax collected, and the total on it. If you're using your own credit card processor as well, you can ask them if they want an itemized receipt. The itemized receipt will be this. This will be the itemized.
Okay.
Your card processor will then print out the card receipt. You can then staple those together and give it to the customer if they want. Also, remember though, these itemized receipts, if they plugged in their phone number and or their email, will be emailed or texted to them anyways, right? So just letting you know. Continue. Great. We've done those 2 orders now. What you will see then is from left to right, you'll have the top, this one with the 2 little circles and the lines. Those are your orders that you've done. Here, it will then download and populate. These ones have order IDs already assigned. Obviously the customer name is empty, customer phone, they didn't fill any of that out, right? So that's why they're empty. If the order ID looks weird, a very long order ID, it just means that this has not been pushed to the back end yet. Don't worry, it will automatically do it whenever it detects a proper connection. Okay? Just want to let you know that the order ID, don't worry if it's jumbled up. Right? It will just show you if it's in sync or not. Great. If you need to reprint those receipts, you can press print on it, and you can reprint the receipt. Okay. From here, what I do also want to say is you can also obviously search by the order ID up here. You can also search by date up here as well to say, hey, I only want to see certain certain orders in certain days. You can tap it here.
Paul's gonna need to see all this.
Yep. And then he can see everything on the back end too.
Oh.
Yep. And then also date. I want to keep in mind that the date is day, month, year, not month, day, year.
So that's December 2nd.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that could be confusing.
Yeah, it can.
Well,
December 2nd or February 12th.
Yeah. Well, y'all Americans got to get with the fact that it goes from little to big.
Yeah, it does.
But we'll go over this again. I'll probably pause the video and then.
At least it's not the metric system.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
So-
Paul does, but I don't.
The next one up here are your reports on the point of sale. On these reports, you will be able to select the day to report from. So I want to select, and we're going to go with the Diwali day, so the 12th. Are you okay with people seeing this?
Huh?
I can blur it.
I'll just do that.
I'll blur it.
I don't care, but I don't know what you want.
Yeah, I'll blur this, right? So this is your first day. So on this day, right, the report for the 12th of November, not December 12th, is you have 187 total orders that have been transacted. Your total transactions for that day are almost $15,000, right? Credit card, cash, COD is cash on delivery, which means you gave them the product and they gave you cash, right? And then from here, you can see the total orders from here and here, total transactions, total transactions. Now, say you want to compare them and go, how did I do the day compared to the day before? I go here, I press on the 11th, we'll say. This will show you now. You grew by 62% on order volume, and you had a 200% increase on that day. Way to go, Tom. Right? And then again, the requisite information down here. And confusing on this end, by the way. Okay, great. The next one is quite fun.
No, data found.
Correct. The next one here is our inventory checker. This means that on the back end, the administrator should have already plugged in how much product you are receiving. If not, that's fine because of what's going to happen next. So we've got flashbangs here. I'm going to scan the flashbangs now and go, okay. You're supposed to have received 12, you scanned 1. You can use your finger, tap on the 1, and say, I have actually 13 of them in my store. Right? And say, okay, now I have 13 of them in my store. I'll press now continue. It'll tell you, this is the product code, this is the flashbang, how much inventory that you have available, how many you've scanned. You have 1 discrepancy. You can go figure out why the discrepancy exists. If you say, you know what, this is proper, I have 1 extra, that's fine. You can press submit now. The list has been shared. What this means is the administrator will receive an email with the report. You don't have to do one product at a time, you can do the entire store at once. They'll receive a discrepancy report of all items. If you want to just put in the items, you do the exact same thing. Because what's going to happen now is we go back to the inventory tracker, this. We'll just do this again. So, same thing, continue, submit, one discrepancy. Go home. It's supposed to update with the proper inventory because we did that earlier, right? And this will change the inventory. So theoretically, what's going to happen is you can go into your store. They didn't plug in anything at all, right? You go into the store, you scan all the products you have inside, you press submit, and the store will be done with inventory. Because now you can say, I've got 5 of this, I've got 10 of that, I've got 17 of this, and your inventory is done. The kicker though, is that you're required to have the data already existing in the back end. What this means is that the administrator for the store will have to at least allow you permission to scan the inventory. That'll be another training. But for all intents and purposes, at the stand, you'll be able to run your inventory from the stand.
Yeah.
Cool? Because I did this with Natasha over in Kennesaw, right? Where we just had to count how many of each were in the store. It would have been easy if we just scanned it, said we have 13 of these, and just press go. That is what that does. This, unless you're in our B2B program, this will technically allow stand owners to request product from the warehouse and do the same scanning mechanism. Okay? However, right now, because this particular store, right, does not have it populated yet, we're not going to go through training there. The next one, you can add products. Right? If you want to name the miscellaneous charge, if you want to add multiple miscellaneous charges, but actually name them, this is what you would do. Okay, you type in the category, the name, the price, the code, the quantity, how many of them there are.
But that doesn't add to your inventory.
Correct. It just names the miscellaneous charge. All right. That make sense? So say you had like you went to the stand, and you had like out of nowhere you had one of those fire hydrant fountains. And you're like, I didn't know I had these. You want to just add them.
It wasn't here yesterday. Why is it here today?
Exactly. That's what you would add it in, but you want to name it. That's when you put it in there. The next button here with little 2 arrows, that's refresh. You want to refresh whenever the administrator, right, or home base tells you to. This means that it will grab all new data, pricing, product names, inventory. That's the refresh button there. You tap on it. You need internet for this. It'll say syncing in progress and just syncs everything up again.
Okay.
Cool? The next button here, the little person on it, is your profile. Account settings. It'll allow you to log out or delete your account. This will not delete your account. This was required to by Google. The log out button will log you out. If you have multiple locations you can have access to, this is where you change it. Settings. As of right now, your settings are yours to change. Taxes and fees. If you want to allow tips, right? And if you're using Pyromart for processing, which you guys are not, and then this will just turn on and off the tip options. Your taxes are down here. So in that case, why don't we do this? We'll remove it and add it again. And go, this will be the name of it. I spelled tax form. Was it 13.3?
Mm-hmm.
Once you've added it in, you gotta press add option, or it won't save. You only have to do this once, per account or per location. Cool, done. You can add unlimited taxes and fees.
Of course you can.
Just
Because they charge them.
yeah, just FYI. Cool. That in
And that-
itself is the
And
point of
that
sale.
was the last,
The settings.
Yeah, okay.
Any questions so far?